Welcome to Learn English Grammar Hacks, the podcast that makes even the scariest grammar rules easy to understand. I'm Adam.
And I'm Sarah. Thanks for tuning in.
Sarah, I have a confession. Last night, I was watching one of those home renovation shows, and I found myself yelling at the TV. The host said it's essential that every new homeowner is aware of the budget.
Let me guess, your grammar senses were tingling?
They were on fire. It just sounded off, a little clunky. And then I thought, if I were the host of that show, I would have said it differently. And that little thought, if I were the host, is exactly what we're talking about today.
You've created the perfect segue. Today, we are tackling a grammar topic that sounds incredibly formal and intimidating: the subjunctive mood. It sounds like something you'd find in a dusty old textbook, right?
It really does. But we promise, it's not as scary as it sounds. In fact, it's a secret weapon that makes you sound more polished, more precise, and frankly, a little bit fancy. By the end of this episode, you'll understand what it is, how to use it for wishes and demands, and most importantly, you'll finally know why Beyoncé sings "If I Were a Boy" and not "If I Was a Boy."
And that, my friends, is a grammar mystery worth solving.
Okay, let's start with the basics. What on earth is a grammatical mood? It sounds like a verb with feelings.
That's the perfect analogy. A verb's mood shows its attitude toward reality. Is it stating a fact? Is it giving a command? Or is it just dreaming?
A verb with an attitude. I love it. So what are the main moods?
Well, you've got the indicative mood, which is the just the facts mood. It states facts or opinions, like "it is sunny" or "that movie was long." We use this one about 99% of the time.
Then you have the imperative mood, which is the bossy mood. It gives commands, "do your homework," or "be quiet."
Exactly. And that brings us to our special guest, the subjunctive mood. This is the what if or dreamer mood. It doesn't deal with facts. It deals with things that are not real. Wishes, suggestions, demands, or hypothetical situations.
Like me imagining I was the host of that TV show. That was definitely not a fact.
Precisely. And to make it super simple for everyone, we're going to split the subjunctive into two easy-to-remember jobs. Job number one is the bossy subjunctive for demands and suggestions. And job number two is the dreamer subjunctive for wishes and what-ifs.
Let's start with the bossy subjunctive. This is the one I was yelling at the TV about.
Yes, the bossy subjunctive shows up after certain bossy verbs and phrases. Think of words that make a request, a demand, or a strong suggestion. Verbs like suggest, recommend, insist, demand, and ask.
And also those bossy phrases like "it is important," "it is essential," "it is necessary."
Exactly. And when you use one of those trigger words, the verb that follows it has to be in its simplest, most basic form. No S, no ED, nothing. Just the plain verb. It's so simple, it almost sounds weird at first.
So in my TV show example, the host should have said, "It is essential that every new homeowner be aware of the budget." Not "is aware," but "be aware." The simplest form of the verb "to be" is just "be."
You got it. Or a doctor might say, "I recommend that he rest for a week," not "he rests." The verb stays in its pure, simple form. It doesn't change for anyone. I, you, he, she, we, they. It's always the same.
Okay, let's practice this. Listeners, repeat after Chloe. We'll give you the start of a sentence, and you complete it with the simple verb form. Ready?
The manager insists that every employee
Attend the meeting.
It is crucial that she
Finish her work.
Great. And for a negative, you just add not. I suggest that you...
Not be late.
Perfect. You're already sounding more decisive.
Okay, let's leave the bossy world behind and move on to the dreamer subjunctive. This is the fun one. It's for wishes and hypothetical situations that are contrary to fact.
And this is where we get the most famous subjunctive phrase of all, if I were.
This is the big one. The rule is simple. When you're talking about something that is not true, a fantasy, a wish, an impossible situation, you use were, even for singular subjects like I, he, or she.
This is why Beyoncé sings If I Were a Boy, because she is not a boy. It's a hypothetical situation. And in the musical Fiddler on the Roof, the character sings If I Were a Rich Man, because he's poor and dreaming of a different life.
It's the official grammar of imagination. You could say, I wish my cat were less lazy, or he acts as if he were the boss. He's not the boss, so we use were to show that unreality.
Okay, but what about if I was? People say that all the time. Is it always wrong?
Great question. It's not always wrong. You use if I was when you're talking about a real possibility in the past, something that might have actually happened.
So I could say my friend asked if I was feeling okay yesterday. It was possible I was feeling okay. But I would say if I were an astronaut, I'd go to Mars because that's impossible.
Exactly. If I was is for a real past possibility. If I were is for a present or future dream.
That makes so much sense. Okay, let's practice being dreamers. Repeat after Chloe.
I wish it were the weekend.
If he were taller, he could reach the top shelf.
She wishes she were on a beach right now.
Fantastic. You're all masters of the what if.
And that's it. You've just simplified the subjunctive mood. Let's do a super quick recap.
For the bossy subjunctive, after words like suggest, demand, or it is important, you use the simple base form of the verb. I demand that he be on time.
For the dreamer subjunctive, for wishes and unreal situations, you use were. I wish I were on vacation.
And as a little bonus, you can hear the subjunctive hiding in old fixed phrases that we still use today. They're like little grammar fossils.
Ooh, like what?
Phrases like God save the king, or heaven forbid, or so be it. In all of those, the verb is in its simple, base subjunctive form.
That's so cool. You hear them all the time and don't even realize it.
Exactly. So our challenge to you this week is to listen for the subjunctive. Spot it in songs, in movies, or try using it yourself. If you were to try it, we think you'd love it.
That's all for episode 9 of Learn English Grammar Hacks. If this episode was helpful, it is essential that you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'd love it if you would leave us a review.
Until next time, keep your grammar sharp.